Once again, you voted and we answered. In the 25th edition of Racing Infinity, we travel back to 2007 for an all-star race where creativity reigns supreme. Welcome to Mexico, chosen by you for the second edition of the Fan Favorites. Racing Infinity is back with its 25th volume, and our way of celebrating is the return of the Fan Favorites ballot, like we did for Volume 10. We asked you, the viewers, what you wanted to see in a thrilling all-star event that takes us back to 2007. You got to vote for the race format, guest drivers, and more, and this was the end result. First, we asked you to pick a pioneer driver, and who else could it be but Richard Petty? He's back 15 years after his final race for one last comeback. He'll be driving the number 46 for his own team. As for a recently retired driver, you voted for Rusty Wallace, who's driving the number 64 car as a one-off entry for his own team. Next, what would a special event be without some international flavor? For an international driver, you chose the rookie sensation in Formula One, Lewis Hamilton. The open-wheel phenom tries something new in the midst of his title fight, and McLaren is along for the ride as they enter a number 27 Vodafone Ford. Timelines converge for our next driver because we asked for a Sunday Night Lights star to be featured, and the winner was 1997 Daytona 500 champion Kelly Earnhardt. She'll be driving her number 14 Bank of America Chevrolet for DEI, but with an all-new look from the 2000s. Lastly, we asked you to pick a current NASCAR Cup Series driver, and that winner was the 2021 NASCAR Cup champion Kyle Larson. He'll be in an extra Hendrick car today, driving his sprint car number 57. The rest of the field is made up by the 2007 NASCAR All-Star Race lineup, and because you voted for the Gen 4 cars, this race uses the Splash and Go Cup05 mod. As for where this race will be held, we had you vote from 5 tracks NASCAR's lower series raced at around the time, and you voted for the lone road course, Mexico City. This 26-car shootout will feature a single 28-lap race with standard qualifying procedures also voted on by you. Now, it's time to see how they stack up for this one-of-a-kind race, Fan Favorites Round 2. Starting on the front row is a pair of Joe Gibbs Racing teammates, as Denny Hamlin will start from the pole and Tony Stewart will start second. Starting third is one of our voted drivers, Lewis Hamilton, in the number 27, and Greg Biffle will start fourth. Starting fifth is Kyle Larson in the number 57, and Kyle Busch will start next to him in sixth. Starting seventh is Jeff Gordon in the 24, and starting eighth is Kurt Busch in the number 2. And rounding out the top 10 is the 12 of Ryan Newman, and Jimmy Johnson, he'll start in 10th. 2007 Daytona 500 winner Kevin Harvick will start in 11th, with Kelly Earnhardt starting in 12th. Starting 13th is the 31 of Jeff Burton, and starting 14th is Matt Kenseth. Rusty Wallace is back for one more ride. He will start in 15th in the number 64, and starting next to him is Casey Kane in the 9. Starting 17th is the 25 of Casey Mears, and Bobby Labonte will roll off 18th in the 43. Dale Earnhardt Jr. will start 19th, and next to him is the King, Richard Petty in the number 46. He'll start in 20th. Starting 21st is Johnny Sauter, and starting 22nd is one of the 2 Toyotas in this field, Dale Jarrett in the 44. Getting close towards the end of the field as Mark Martin will start 23rd, Brian Vickers will start in 24th, and then rounding out the field is Kenny Wallace in the 78 and Martin Truex Jr. for DEI. "26 drivers all ready to go here in Mexico as the pace car goes down pit road. Denny Hamlin and Tony Stewart will lead the field to the green flag, and here we go, we are underway." Hamlin and Stewart are side by side, but as they come off turn 3, Hamlin swings up the track as Hamilton peeks to the inside of him and Stewart. Hamlin pulls away with Stewart in second. Now we see Greg Biffle and Lewis Hamilton side by side for third, with Kyle Larson right behind them. The two Joe Gibbs cars look really fast today, and I think they're going to be tough to beat. Question is, who is going to be fast enough to stop those two? Perhaps could it be Greg Biffle or Lewis Hamilton? Biffle's hanging tough, but it's going to be Lewis Hamilton clearing for third place. Hamilton is looking to stun the NASCAR world today. Thanks to their side-by-side battle, Hamlin and Stewart have pulled away. Back behind them, we have Jimmy Johnson and Ryan Newman battling for 9th place. Johnson has the advantage, and as they come back to complete the first lap, Johnson is going to pull ahead of Newman. Heading back to the start-finish line, it is Denny Hamlin, who is out in front. He'll lead the first lap. Hamlin continues to lead as everyone has settled into position. Tony Stewart continues to stay close to his teammate, and Lewis Hamilton is trying to reel them in and pull the upset. Going on board with Tony Stewart, who had a really good qualifying run, and he's just trying to hang close to his teammate. Plenty of racing left, of course, but Stewart just trying to stay close and have a chance to win this. We also have a battle in the back for 18th place between Casey Mears and the king himself, Richard Petty. Petty looks to have the advantage on the higher line with Dale Jr. behind them, and Jr. has his work cut out for him if he wants to win today. We have some famous names in this field overall, such as Petty, Mears, a couple of Earnhardts, and Labonte. Lots of big names in this race. That's why it's considered an all-star race. Coming back around to complete lap 2, Denny Hamlin is cruising out in front still, and I'm sure he has nothing to complain about whatsoever. That car is perfect. That setup is dialed in. Definitely have nothing to complain about. This could be Denny Hamlin's day today. We go on board with Kyle Larson in that number 57 Chevrolet as he currently runs in 5th. Ahead of him is Greg Biffle in 4th, and behind him is a driver that I'm confident he is going to cross paths with quite a lot down the road. But for today, he is his teammate, that being Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch has got to be feeling good so far about things. He's running up front. He's got a fast car, and the question is, can he find the time to get up there? Speaking of Busch, Kurt Busch is behind Kyle. He is sitting in 7th, about a second back from his brother. Hopefully the two of them will stay out of trouble today, not cause anything crazy unlike a certain other all-star race those two were in. And all eyes are on that FedEx Chevrolet of Denny Hamlin once again. Lewis Hamilton's been chasing down Tony Stewart in the process. Of course, Hamilton you would expect to be good on a road course, but this is a car that he's very unfamiliar with, so very impressive so far out of the F1 driver, Lewis Hamilton. Nine laps are complete here in Mexico City, and Denny Hamlin continues to lead, but Tony Stewart has not lost any ground on him, and Lewis Hamilton is still up there in the mix. Stewart is right there ready to pounce, and he is a very good road course racer, so Denny Hamlin's going to have his work cut out for him here, but Stewart not able to find the right time to make that pass just yet. We're only 9 laps in and still plenty of racing left to go here in Mexico City. No problems on that number 11 Chevrolet still, as Hamlin still leading the way. Very calm race so far here in Mexico City, but that means we'll have some long green flag runs, and I'm sure at some point here soon we will have some green flag pit stops, unless of course we get a caution. So we better keep our eyes peeled for that, and we'll see if that will shuffle up the field by any chance. Pit stops will be crucial here, and track position will be key towards winning today's race. As a matter of fact, some of the leaders could be heading towards pit road this time by, so we'll have to keep our eyes peeled. As the leaders come back around, we now are witnessing our first round of green flag pit stops as Hamlin, Stewart, and Hamilton head down pit road. And it looks like everyone is going to come down all at once, so pit road will be busy. Denny Hamlin says he's feeling good about his car, and there's a lot of confidence coming from his team. Tony Stewart feels the same way. He wants to loosen it up, though, just a bit to see if he can gain an advantage on his teammate. And here they come into their stalls now, as the crews will now go to work on their cars. They're hoping for a quick pit stop. Track position is very, very important, especially being on a road course. One side done for Hamlin. Here's the other side now. Those two tires go on the right side of his number 11 Chevrolet. He and Stewart pull out at the same time, but it's going to be Hamlin out in front, followed by Stewart, Hamilton, Biffle, and Larson. Let's take a look at the 27 of Lewis Hamilton as he is taking his first laps in a stock car. He's feeling good so far and thinks he has a shot to win this. We have reached the halfway point in today's race as Hamlin continues to lead with Tony Stewart in second. JGR has been dominating today. Meanwhile, back in ninth, and one of the biggest movers since the first round of green flag pit stops is Kelly Earnhardt. She is the highest running of all of the DEI cars. Jeff Gordon sits behind her as we go on board with Kelly Earnhardt. Earnhardt feels like she has a good setup for a good finish here today, and so far that has shown. She's looking to chase down Jimmy Johnson and Kurt Busch up ahead. Kelly Earnhardt continues to impress, and I'm sure if everything falls in order correctly for her, she may have a shot to win today. Still plenty of racing left here in Mexico City. And the second round of green flag pit stops begin, as this time the first car down pit road is Kyle Busch, followed by his brother Kurt Busch. Jimmy Johnson will follow them and others as well. The top five do stay out, and with that occurring, we're going to have to wait and see who ends up where after these pit stops are complete. Kyle Busch comes to a stop in his pit box, and he begins service on his number 5 Chevrolet as we see Jeff Gordon making contact with Kurt Busch as he was trying to get into his stall. Hopefully that isn't too much damage for both the 24 and the 2. Well, there goes Kurt Busch off pit road. Jeff Gordon trying to finish up, and there he goes. Hamlin, Stewart, and the remaining cars who have not made their stop yet are rolling off pit road, but it's going to be Kyle Busch taking the lead because he pit a lap sooner. Now, will this pay off for the younger Busch? He will have to hold off the 2 best cars in the field to do so. 9 laps remain for Kyle Busch. That couldn't have worked out any better for Kyle Busch, barely just taking the lead. And as I just said, he's got a lot of work to do here. That 11 and the 20, they are both very fast. And with a lot of racing left to go, anything can happen. But Kyle Busch looking to play spoiler on the 2 Joe Gibbs Racing Chevrolets. Five laps to go for car number 5. Hamlin is back by 3 car lengths, and Stewart is right behind him as well. As it stands right now, it is a 3-car pack here, battling for the win here in the closing laps. Stewart tries to go up high, but he's going to lose a little bit of ground. We'll have to see if he can recover quick. Hamlin is still there as we go on board with the number 20 Home Depot Chevrolet. That is, of course, Tony Stewart, the 2002 and 2005 NASCAR Cup Series champion. He's slowly reeling in his young teammate Denny Hamlin. A couple of young drivers up in front who are part of the future of this sport for sure. But still, it is Kyle Busch out in front. And for Hamlin and Stewart, they're just waiting for the right time to pounce. Still a lot left to go here. This is a road course. It's a long way around. As you see, Lewis Hamilton is back there in fourth. An impressive run for him. But he's going to have to make up a lot of ground if he wants to catch these three leaders here as they come back around to the start and finish line. Time starts to wind down as now we have 4 laps to go, and here comes Stewart. He peeks to the inside of Hamlin, and he's going to take second place away. Now Smoke has his eyes set on the leader, Kyle Busch. Can Stewart chase down Busch? Two laps to go for Kyle Busch, and Tony Stewart is there, looking to pounce at the right time. But will that right time come? Stewart did lose some ground, but now he is clawing his way back. We have 4 drivers in contention to win, with Busch, Stewart, Hamlin, and Hamilton all right there in one pack. All the battling between the top 3 has allowed Hamilton to catch up quick. But can he make a pass for podium position or even go for the win? He knows his way around road courses like this, but passing in a stock car is much different than an open wheeler. And Tony Stewart, right now, he's looking a little bit faster than Kyle Busch, so it could be only a matter of time. Could we get one of those last lap passes for the win? It would be a perfect way for this race to conclude. But again, Tony Stewart just looking for the right time, if it's even there. Kyle Busch has to make his car 6 lanes wide perhaps and keep Tony Stewart behind him, and that is a difficult task to complete. As we are coming back around to the final lap this time by. And it appears Stewart might have found the right time to pounce. Here they come. White flag is in the air, and Tony Stewart looks to the inside. Stewart has the opportunity here. Busch is trying to hold on as they head into turn 1, but through goes Stewart. Tony Stewart takes the lead on the final lap from Kyle Busch. Smoke is pulling away. It was in turn 2 that Tony Stewart made the pass, and now Kyle Busch running out of time. He's going to have to fight back quick, but Denny Hamlin and Lewis Hamilton are there as well. Everything looking good for Smoke. Indeed, we got one of those last lap passes for the win, and I'm sure that number 20 crew is ready to celebrate with this one. They have certainly earned this victory. Among this top 4, Stewart is the only driver to have never driven on this circuit, and he will be the one to prevail today, barring any sudden issues. Today's race is going to belong to the number 20 Home Depot Chevrolet, and coming to the checkered flag, Tony Stewart will win at Mexico City after a last lap pass for the win. What a finish! Tony Stewart only led 1 lap today, but it was the most important one, that being the final lap. And here's a look at your final results. As Kyle Busch comes in second, Denny Hamlin, who led most of the laps today with 19 finishes in third, Lewis Hamilton with an impressive run in fourth, Greg Biffle rounds out the top 5. Kyle Larson finishes in 6th, Kurt Busch was 7th, 8th was Jimmy Johnson, 9th was Jeff Gordon, and Kelly Earnhardt rounds out the top 10. And now we take a look at the rest of your finishing order. Matt Kenseth was 11th, Ryan Newman finishing in 12th, Bobby Labonte finishing in 15th. And you see some of our other drivers that you voted for. Richard Petty finishing in 17th, Rusty Wallace finished in 18th. Dillon Hart Jr. and Martin Truex Jr. with disappointing days. They finished 20th and 21st. And there's the rest of your finishing order. Tough day for Mark Martin, who finishes in 25th. And that will do it for another edition of Racing Infinity. 25 down and plenty of more to come. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and stay tuned for what the next Racing Infinity will be, as well as more updates regarding Sunday Night Lights 1998. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Gray Speed Productions, and I will see you in the next video.